Best of 3 between Fnatic and Astralis. The score is tied up 1-1. And once again, the teams will remain on blue and red side, respectively. Astralis using their pick to stay on the blue side. Fnatic staying on red. One final game to decide it all.
One final battle. Duke it out. Yeah,
Yes.
same sides every game. I think Astralis changed up a little bit last game with the bans. I think they drafted themselves into a bit of a hole, which we won't see again. I think I got a little bit too happy with the Alawi and the Z4-5.
Yep.
But Lissandra looks like a problem, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because in the first game, it really didn't look like a problem. But in game 2, it feels like once Fnatic actually drafted the proper tools around the Lissandra, namely the Vi, things like the Nautilus as well, a lot of this extra additional CC or upfront damage, it worked out a lot better for them. See what the strategy is going to be here in game 3. What Astralis are cooking up. Last game, it was Alawi, but I think, you know, you're either cooking or you're looking cooked, and Astralis looking cooked.
That was looking pretty cooked, yeah.
Yeah.
So LeBlanc ban means that the leader probably wants to blind pick Yone again.
I like the Vi.
Vi ban coming through. Now, Maokai was the first pick last time. Zaya's banned. No one's really touched Zeri this series. Sejuani is up. Varus is up. That's something that Fnatic will instantly snatch up. Sejuani is up, so they're taking the first pick of the leader in jungle, probably because leader is going to go Yone on 2-3 again. Sejuani is the best fit, so they're running back game 1. Fnatic needs to be careful they don't fall into the draft hole they had in game 1, where they had a lot of heavy AP, their front to back was lacking, they were getting dove on too easily, it was some kind of Tam Kench on 5. They were playing Lissandra Maokai mid jungle. I think Wukong Lissandra is the direction you want to go in if you want to pivot that way. But
Don't do it.
it's Lucian
No!
Nami. Oh, it's Lucian Nami.
No!
So, let's take stock of the draft then, because Razork's playing Maokai.
Yes.
They're going to probably match support here, Fnatic. Normally they pick top on 3. They would pick Jax, they pick Olaf, they ban tops, but I mean, I guess they can sack support again if they really want to, but picking something like Nautilus here would be would be the best bet.
Yep.
So Fnatic definitely have a lot of skirmish tools, not a lot of protection for Rekkles this time around, but jungle and bot lane picked up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Yone ban, Sylas ban. It's good against champs like Varus, Maokai, and Nautilus.
Yeah, every single ultimate that can be stolen right now is incredibly powerful. Varus already insane AP ratio, obviously just ludicrous in the hands of Sylas. He's going to build a lot more raw AP. Lucian Nami, a champion who isn't super popular anywhere else in the world and has been nerfed repeatedly, yet has remained here in the LEC. Why, I don't know, but I am hoping that Astralis can show us. For now, the Yone ban coming out as you predicted. Olaf, Astralis do not want to deal with it this time. It looks like the Alawi tech that they potentially had prepared for the Olaf didn't work, and so just don't want to try running it back.
So there's 3 mid laners left for leader. It comes to melee champs. There's Zed, there's Irelia, and there's Akali. I wonder which one he's going to pick up. There's the Olaf Jax bans. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of blind pick top here for Oscar. Could go towards something like maybe even a Gnar, Sion. I think any kind of front line here could be good if they're picking a mage on 5. But a lot of base damage already. Cassante would be an easy one as well. Very common in the eastern regions. I think Cassante blind, 1-2 flex, Aphelios. It's a little bit different here.
What was the option to be?
Orianna.
Very old school.
Wow.
Scaling option here.
Okay, so they're going pure team fight. Orianna Maokai is very weak mid-jungle in the early stages. Doesn't have that much skirmish potential, but it's obviously going to be strong in fights.
And a few patches ago, it was adjusted. Less pass-through damage on the first and second target, but every target after that taking a little bit more. So overall, that makes her large-scale wave clear better. Her ulti also, I believe, got a base damage nerf. So this is a champion that was buffed, but ultimately didn't mean much in the context of pro play.
Irelia. Or is it Finn's Irelia? It could be either one of them right now. We don't know. If they round this out with a Kled or something,
double flex.
I'm a bit worried. I think Fiora might be good here. If they go something like Kled, we'll see. Camille as well could work pretty well. But still, they haven't shown their cards yet. Irelia, yeah, you said double flex. What's it going to be?
I mean, they would need to pick another flex pick here to get the double flex.
Renekton Irelia, you know?
Would be bold.
Ooh.
Malphite?
Malphite.
Is it a double flex?
Malphite blind.
Malphite mid into Orianna sounds bad.
So is Gwen something they go for here? Maybe a bit too much AP? Malphite and Orianna is definitely bad. That's probably a Malphite top. Leader's
just
definitely
talking about the potential of a double flex.
Did you see his dance there for a second while you were talking over it?
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. So Oscar, what's the counter pick? Is he going to go for something like Gnar? Does he have something a little bit that can win lane harder? Gwen, yeah, I was thinking of Gwen, but I really wonder if you have too much AP damage. Mordekaiser.
Whoa!
Mordekaiser.
All right, here's the thing. Mordekaiser, you can ult the Irelia when she goes in. You can stop her from resetting. You can take all the marked targets out of the fight. You can also ult the Malphite mid-ult, I believe, and stop him from hitting your team.
I wouldn't be able to tell you on that one, but if you can, then that could save the entire game, right? So Fnatic, very heavy AP mid-jungle top as well on support. Leader will probably build towards things like, Wit's End perhaps, or more, some magic resist. Finn the exact same.
I mean, Wit's End Merc Treads on Irelia historically, this was, to be fair, a while ago, used to heal as well. When it healed, that item was nuts. Merc, you could not win with double AP mid-jungle against Irelia, who went for those two items. Now, it's a little bit easier these days, but it's still incredibly strong.
It is. I think the Mordekaiser Malphite will be a farming lane. Mordekaiser favorite. Let's see how much Oscar can do in these fights. It's been a long time since we've seen Mordekaiser around the world, I think, in major regions. And I think Leader is his target for ults. Kobbe might be the secondary target. These AD champions take them into the death realm, remove them as threats so that Rekkles and Humanoid have more space to work with. But this is it. Game 3, match point. Winner plays against Vitality. Loser has one more chance. Lose another best of 3 out of this, and you're gone from playoffs.
No matter what, whoever loses here loses the luxury of double elimination in the top 4 as well. So winning here is everything for both these lineups if they want to keep their dreams alive. For now, let's get in a game for our final match between Astralis and Fnatic. And here we go. This time, they will not let 113 walk alone at level 1. They will stay grouped.
You'll never walk alone.
And he will dab.
Will Advienne walk up and hook here? So you know Malphite's quote, "You will lose"?
Yes.
So in the first game, Finn put a 1-hour loop YouTube link in the pre-game lobby of this "You will lose" quote.
Damn, he's quick with it.
And now in all chat, all of Astralis wrote "You will lose!" exclamation mark all at the same time in all chat. So they're really like, I feel like if they're role-playing Malphite, maybe they get a damage buff or something. But
I feel like Astralis somehow have become the mental warfare team. Between the leader champion pool, the infinite emote spamming, and now the all chat, "You will lose."
Yeah, just taunting relentlessly.
Like the spirit of wonder lives on in the LEC through this Astralis lineup.
They're keeping alive. So let's see how the early game pans out, because Razork's going to start on Raptors. 113, game 1. He did a very similar thing in this exact jungle matchup. He did Red Crux Raptors, walked into Razork's jungle, and it was a fiesta to the point where Rekkles couldn't even lane at level 2. Nightshare said that they made some mistakes in that level 1. They need to avoid doing that this time around because 113 will probably be down there.
Shout out to the top lane matchup. For the second game in the row, the last time we've seen the weird champion, in this case the Mordekaiser, it was played by Finn. Finn lost the last time. This is Oscarinin's first Mordekaiser. So see what it works here.
First Mordekaiser ever for Oscar. Let's see what he can get done. Obviously, it'll become really hard for Malphite eventually as Oscar starts to push him in. Ruby Crystal start. Interesting. So Razork changed his pathing up from last time. Normally he did 3 camps top, walked into bot side. Now he's taking those camps away. Put a ward in the river as well, you can see there, because he's probably expecting 113 to do something along the same lines as that game 1.
Yep. Astralis set up for more control on the bottom side of the map. They did prioritize this Lucian Nami in the early levels, just by nature of having a range support going to be stronger, and especially at level 3 once they have all those abilities unlocked. See if they can really make use of this combo. It's one that has looked pretty meh, I would say, universally in the LEC outside of one.
Again,
I said meh.
Okay, yeah, I think that's exactly what it.
That's my soft casting version of how I really feel about this combo.
Oh,
but I'll hold that thought as we have...
yeah, he got around the ward. Is he diving mid? No, Leader doesn't have any mana. There's no way they can dive that. He's going to find Razork, though. He's going to dash on top of him.
Yep.
Has Smite up now. Razork doesn't.
Deja vu from game 1. Razork not allowed to take these wolves. 113 will take the camp.
Dabbing on him, as 113 always does. There's no way Leader's coming to dive bot at level 3 as Irelia, I see. Wave, is it on the tower?
You say it, but I don't think you understand what the... Because there is apparently a way.
There's always a way, it seems, with Astralis. So no, he's going to back off. He got the wave in. Was hovering for some kind of dive, but maybe the wave wasn't big enough. So now I expect 113 to go back up towards this top side and clear out the rest of his camps. So the looming threat of jungle is now gone, but at least Astralis know now that Razork is top side for the next couple minutes, clearing out his camps as well. So 113's basically secured isolation for the Lucian Nami. See if they can punish Rekkles and Advienne in this lane.
Leader just continuously wandering into Fog of War here. In this case, it'll be to reset, but still Fnatic. Gonna have to give that respect, gonna have to play a bit cautiously here as 113 gonna start up a Scuttle Crab. Razork struggling a little bit in the jungle clear. This is the repeated nerfs over the last few patches to Maokai's clear. But has the red buff, so she'll or will heal up and be fine.
You can see he has no points in W right now. He's just put 2 points in Q to make his clear a little bit faster. Won't get spotted by that ward, but I think 113 knows that his Raptors are spawning. He's gonna walk up here. Razork's half HP, but Humanoid trying to cover after having TP'd back. Let's see if they can get his flash. He's got the phase rush.
4 stacks, flash forward, gonna get the Q. Instant flash out from Humanoid. Not gonna get marked there by Leader. That is big.
They got the big Raptor as well. Razork can't fight back. He doesn't have W. If you got the Raptor, maybe you could dash in. Advienne.
Hook connecting. That's gonna be big. Kobbe now igniting. Kobbe has to back away. He's got no mana. Clean. Engage, clean trade there for the side of Fnatic.
Nice sidestep there by Rekkles as well. Look at Razork. He hasn't based yet. He's gonna get that crab, and he's gonna level up. He needs the crab for the W.
Another hook landing. Advienne not missing here. JeongHoon now backing away. Rekkles, no follow-up. Razork waiting behind them. I think Fnatic giving away their hand a little bit when they step forward again with no cooldowns.
Does this dive work here? They need to land the stun.
Stepping in, immediate stun, follow-up. Leader gets the reset on the Q. One more auto, 113, gonna die to the tower! And now it's just gonna be a 1-for-1 with the execute!
It worked, they got first blood. It's a 1-for-1, he loses the wave. It's worth it. 113 needed to base anyway. By the time he pressed recall, he's respawned. You know, we take those. Maybe a little bit of XP over to Humanoid, but the play
Whoever
worked.
just cheered woo after that play, God bless you. That is the energy we need.
So 113 is the one that decides to tank it because he has Aftershock, just lands the Q. He doesn't want to drop though because he knows Leader will die before he can get the kill. So good guy 113 just tanks another shot, doesn't flash out of range. Dabs, dies, executes, refuses to elaborate. Leader gets the kill. First blood, gets the wave. Under tower as well, so of course he'll lose those cannon creeps, and he's still dabbing. He's just running around the map.
Just you saying dabs dies is my favorite thing.
There's a step-by-step process.
The dab into death is the.
It's the 113
It's an
classic.
iconic move.
It is, and now Leader should be close to 6. You can see now he could all in. No, he's not going to do it. You can see Razork right behind Humanoid. Leader of course can like Q to creep, have full stacks, ult Humanoid here, no flash, try to look for kills. So jungle support has to cover now. Leader needs to not be too overly tempted to go in.
Oh, Shockwave comes out, just poking Leader. Seems like Humanoid just really wants to get the wave in. Luckily had his support in jungle there so he could play with that level of confidence, pushes the wave, immediately gonna recall. You know, good play overall. Doesn't need it for an all-in because you're not winning an all-in anyway, might as well just play for the wave prio.
Yeah, top lane is still pretty even. The counterpick hasn't merited much yet. I think the Mordekaiser needs a bit more time to start punishing this Malphite even harder, but Finn is yet to base. Looks like Oscar managed to get his off. Still sitting on those 3 biscuits. Dragon is still up, 113, getting close to that level 5. Razork as well. Humanoid's flash is still down. He went into river to get a little bit of mana from the honey fruit there. 113 has the flash.
1-2, gets the slow on the back end there of the chain, but only gonna hit 3 stacks. Phase rush, I think a good heads-up rune choice from Humanoid.
They're gonna threaten the dive here. Humanoid, no, they could Q flash with Sejuani when it's up, but it's down for 5 seconds. They know that it's warded, and they were spotted because Razork's there. Maybe Dragon is the play here for Astralis, but you can see in the early stages, Astralis really love to look to force fights, hover for dives, try to threaten, and Fnatic in the comms need to be really on their toes, ready to react. Astralis not going to go for that Dragon in the end. Pink wall on the entrance, spots 113, dash over to red, so that frees up the lanes.
Yeah, and I think when you look at Orianna Varus versus the Lucian Irelia, reliable late game feels like it is in the hands of Fnatic, assuming they can fight on their terms. Astralis may never give them that straight up front to back. We'll have to see.
TV back here from Finn, finally recalled. It's going to go towards the Abyssal Mask. 3 AP champs on the enemy team, makes sense. Leader,
here getting aggressive. Humanoid clean, sidestep, stay along as humanly possible. The stun now going to come in, but do they have the follow? The bubble going to connect, and there it is. Leader managing to get it with the W. Rekkles now firing back though, again, a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Fnatic respond in time. Little bit of a overcommit there from Astralis, but it works. They managed to get the stun there. The flash forwards from 113 with the Sejuani E. Lands, and then they managed to get the kill with Leader's W. Q's over to Razork to escape as well. But they did invest. The Sejuani flash for that kill. Humanoid's flash will be back up soon. Razork's going to try to steal away a blue buff. He's on a ward though. You can see 113 just sprinting towards his top side. 600 on the smite. Does he get it in time? Finn's here too. No flash. Razork probably going to have to give this up.
Oh, lucky to have the Scuttle Crab movement.
Oh, look where 113 is. Look where 113 is.
113 now trying to follow up. Missing on the dash in, but 4 stacks should be more than enough to lock him up. Finn, is he going to follow up with the ultimate? He's waiting. He's holding off. Are they going to go for the kill immediately? Ulting back in onto Rekkles, but here comes the Mordekaiser. I don't know if this fight's going to play out well for them. Flashing out to safety now. Oscarinin takes 113 to the death
fine.
The showdown, the cage fight. But he's losing. He's losing the cage fight. He's running for his life. The cleanest bubble I have seen all day, and Leader gonna grab the kill.
What a timer from JeongHoon. That bubble landed the second Oscar came out. Chain CC'd, Sejuani Q, he's dead. Fight backfires in a 2v4. The top jungle of Astralis managed to get a kill onto Razork and then a follow-up onto Oscar, who's just trying to help on the collapse. That'll net them a Herald as well. Dragon's still up. Fnatic not in a position to try to trade those objectives. So top wave pushed in for Finn. Great early game from Astralis. Humanoid actually moved towards the bot side, managed to get a plate, but Leader will pick up the majority of that wave.
Yep. And in a long lane like this, you can see Humanoid does not have the luxury of approaching that wave whatsoever. Immediately backs away. Rekkles and Advienne taking up home in the mid lane. We take a look back at this play. First it looks like Razork is overextended, then it looks like Astralis have overextended, but Oscarinin hitting himself for that ultimate.
Yeah, mess up on the Q smite there from Razork. 113 missing the Q as well, but Finn holding his ult until the Varus ult. Watch this, uses it on the Unstoppable to stop this chain CC from Fnatic. They get the kill initially, then they decide to run away. Finn flashes the pullback from Oscar. Oscar then decides to go on to 113. Let's watch this bubble from JeongHoon. Timing the ult, watching where he is as the pixel. Oh, even kind of like predicts maybe they'll walk up. I think that might hit the hitbox anyway, but then yeah, chain CC dead. Whew, good bubble. Otherwise he would have just flashed out straight away, right?
And I mean, again, if you play against a lot of Mordekaiser, that's not that impressive. But we haven't seen this champion on the LEC stage in a very long time. So all the more credit to JeongHoon for getting that timing, for nailing that timing. And while we might have expected you know, Murktread's Wit's End is a potential option here for Leader. For now, it is just the Blade of the Rune King, but getting it so early in the game is going to be massive for his side lane threat.
Yeah, I feel like when this Irelia gets Murktread's Wit's End, I think on side lane, he basically 2v1s any solo lane with jungle. Oscar with Razork, Humanoid with Razork, whatever it may be, he's probably just going to win. They don't have the damage to take him down, so he's going to be a pain to deal with. Leader's going to push in his bot side, look for a plate. Razork's right in front of him as his team's getting Dragon. Has
All
flash.
team TP now coming in, but the rest of Astralis is here. I don't think this is the fight you're looking for.
Yeah, definitely isn't. Humanoid will get the wave, yes, but now you've dropped mid, so Rekkles now has to adapt, sprint towards mid as well. Kobbe's heading there too to get the wave in, so positive exchange for Astralis. They get an ult, they get a TP.
Yep.
They can keep pushing, keep threatening, and what they'll do is rinse and repeat. Kobbe will push in mid, maybe stay for the next wave, and then hover the back down towards the bot side again. The only pain is, look at 113, look at the minimap. Look at the amount of camps he's got up towards the top side. He doesn't care. He's just going to stay around this bot side, look for a dive maybe. Push the bot lane of Fnatic back.
Like a tattooed Turkish Malrang. Just refusing to go to camps. He's just ganking.
He is. Yeah, here comes the move down again. He has Herald. Maybe they want a Herald before the plates fall off. Give them all to Irelia. Get Leader stronger and stronger and stronger.
And right now, it's really hard for Fnatic to respond because they're just weaker in the skirmish. Leader on this one item is such a powerful spike. If they can't burst him down...
They're going to dive in between towers. I feel like it's an Astralis thing to do.
JeongHoon.
Oh my god.
The big whip!
Oh
now
no.
the backup. Now they need to get out of this one. Oh, 113 is definitely overstayed. Astralis not in a good position any longer. Leader trying to hold on to his life, but they're finally trying to burst him out. Still standing. Leader looking for the montage. He manages to make it out. Ionian Fervor stack. They're still going to go for the re-engage. That's the shutdown. Now it is Rekkles going massive. Advienne getting sped up. Command dissonance, making sure he can get in. And it's a triple for Rekkles on the bottom side.
Fnatic are quick to punish, aren't they? It's the man of the hour, Rekkles stepping up, untouched in this fight. Summoner's use, manages to get the kills. 4-0 on this Varus now with an Immortal Shield Bow picked up in base. Astralis diving between those two towers. 113, what the hell was that? He whiffed everything. 3 people right in front of him missed the whole combo, so then he just died straight up. Leader tries to salvage the fight. He has a wave to work with. That's ideal for Irelia. And it looks so good because he manages to take down someone off the back of it. I think it was Humanoid with the ultimate. So here we see him. He's 1 HP basically. Actually, it's Razork. Q to cannon. Q across. Flash. Manages to get the kill. Rekkles flashes back there just in case Kobbe dashes forward. Maybe Leader could find a cross kill again. And then flash rolls him at the end, get the hook. Big shutdown onto Rekkles. Chases them down.
And at the end of the day, clean turn from Fnatic to punish there. And that's a situation where Leader opted not to get early Murktreads, opted to go for the Blade of the Rune King. While that helped is all in. That CC, that lack of tenacity, of course he is going to have it in the runes. And they've kind of reduced the way that it stacks effectively, if I remember correctly. So, but still so significant against this team with against so much AP damage, against so much hard CC. And throwing away a lot of the lead. He still has the individual lead in his lane, but has now put Rekkles wildly ahead of Kobbe. Wildly, maybe a strong word as this is about to connect.
Onto the side. Kobbe has no cleanse.
Ulti coming in. He wouldn't not going to try to follow up. That's the knockback pulling in. The shockwave comes through. It's a clean combo from Fnatic. Their top laner's there just to watch them murder the bot lane of Astralis.
Beautiful engage from Razork. Flash W onto Kobbe. No cleanse, no way out. The Flash Gale Force in response wasn't enough distance to gap close away from the ultimate. Maybe Finn looking to respond here. Rekkles, no summoners, needs to be careful of that Malphite. Pushing bots from Leader is forced back by Advienne, but this game is getting quite scrappy. 13 kills, 13 minutes in. Monterey's just going to clear out these camps. They've been sitting there for so long. Both top laners are really trying to find a way to get involved, but they can't. But yeah, Razork, Kobbe just stepping up way too far to look for this extra plate. Punished.
Dash, Gale Force, Flash, still gonna get hit. Still gonna get hit by the ultimate as well. No one there to body block. And again, clean combo. Once that first piece of CC hits, the CC just keeps coming from the side of Fnatic.
Does indeed. So I think Astralis need to get back on the script, play mid to bot, help Leader get that bot tier 1, and then move him up towards the top side, depending on if they want to fight this Herald or the Dragon. Looks like Leader's going to take a base, working towards that shield bow.
And I think one of the big things here is that in a full team fight, Leader being strong should not be enough to win. Because one of the great strengths of Mordekaiser as a champion is that even if he's not very strong, and at this point in the game he has one item, he's definitely not weak by any means, but definitely not stronger than the Irelia, you can just ult someone out of the fight for 5 seconds, and that is more than enough for Fnatic to win, or should be, especially as we get later into the game.
Yeah, he's going to need some kind of QSS perhaps. Help him get out of that one. But he should win the 1v1 in the Death Chamber. The problem is, like you said, he can't impact the fight as much as he would want. Herald spawning in 3, Dragons up in 30 seconds. See what soul it goes towards. We've seen Cloud already. I think a Hex tech would be detrimental to the game. But looks like Astralis going to go for the Herald. They need this for the mid tower, try to crack that open, then play for these side lane towers. A lot of standing gold. But 15 minutes in yet to find the first brick here, either team. It's a lot of gold injection. It looks like Humanoid might be the one to pick that up. No TPs for Astralis, 5-man top side. See if he tries to get this bot tier 1.
Mid's low enough that Astralis should be able to break open mid here with the Herald, as you highlighted. That'll be first brick. And that's going to be big. Breaking up mid lane tower against a control mage, always going to give you so much more space on the map, but it does mean conceding the Drake.
Oh, what is going on? Fnatic are 4-man on this Dragon. Their carries are both in bot lane. Herald's going to go for 3 towers here. If Astralis know where the carries of Fnatic are, they'll keep going. Luckily, they don't know where Rekkles is. Otherwise, they would just keep pushing. Kobbe maybe is suspecting something.
Gonna get the charge
up here. But yeah, gonna get the charge, gonna back away. Astralis definitely could have pushed for 3 there if they had info on Rekkles, but stayed in fog. And now Fnatic are trying to answer with their own tower on bot here. Oscar's pushing top to see if they can pick up 2 towers in response. Looks like they will. Unless Leader fancies himself an all-in. Humanoid has TP, Finn doesn't, so it'll be quite risky. But 113 is on the way up. We'll stop him taking this tower for now.
Oscar has to be careful here. Leader just posturing, not going to go for the all-in at this stage. We'll just be happy to keep that top lane tower alive. And again, at the end of the day, 1-to-1 in Drakes, gold, 500 apart between these two teams. Yes, Astralis took an extra tower there, but Fnatic's so close to taking top, that standing gold is just waiting for them. And very, very tight game here between these teams.
Very even. And I mean, when it comes to these kind of comps, the way they play up against each other, it's very conditional. Can Leader get onto the back line? You know, can Humanoid find a 2-3-man shockwave? Can Finn land a good ult? There's champions in this game which have to hit certain conditions for you to win, so it's hard to say who's actually favored in fights. I mean, the damage share from Fnatic's only really going to get worse because Leader is just going to get better and better items to a point. Obviously, at 6, it's going to start to fall off, but the mid-game Irelia on 2 or 3 items with Shield, Bow, and Wit's End is going to be a real like a force to be reckoned with, kind of, because Fnatic need to lock him down and invest so many resources to get that kill. But it's just a case of outplaying. Can Rekkles flash a Malphite ult and turn onto the front line? You know, these are the things you need to look out for. Very skilled team fights in terms of mechanics and who can pull it off. 3 minutes on the Dragon, though, means we might not get a fight for a while. And that's Razork.
Ulti connecting onto Finn. Finn has his ulti, but will he get the chance to use it? Holding onto it now, flashing. Now needs to Unstoppable Force out over the wall. The knockup will still connect, but no room for a shockwave. Lot of resources burned there by the side of Fnatic. Yes, they get Finn's ult. Yes, they get his flash, but in the coming fight, they're losing so many of their tools to shut down the side of Astralis.
Yeah, there's 4 ultimates there to try and get that kill. Finn lived. Kobbe, JeongHoon have to use their own as well. So they're looking for this top tier 1. 113 and JeongHoon looking to cut off anyone who tries to cover, so Leader should be able to pick this one up. Oscar can't really respond because bot tier 1's already down, so that'll be 4 towers to Astralis. Can Fnatic look for a mid tower with Leader up towards his top side with TP? I don't think they can. He'll TP behind them if they overextend here, and Fnatic are aware of it. Look for some bot camps, get some deep vision, put some saplings down, and play for information seems to be the call.
Take the red away. Take the small advantages that you can.
TP behind, TP behind.
Cancel trying to get Humanoid out of this fight. TP is coming in from behind this Leader on the backside. This could be the ultimate that you're talking about. Humanoid is going to be in trouble here. He has not enough movement speed to get away from that one. The sun's not going to connect. Leader manages to find one. Massive fight for Astralis, finding 2 in the bottom river.
What can they translate this into? Rekkles, is he going to get out? 113, he's going to check that bush. No, he's not. Huge double TP flank. Leader managing to pick up 2 kills there. Look at his items. 18 minutes in. That's a Blade of the Ruined King, Shield Bow, Irelia. unstoppable right now is Leader, and he's going to push in bot. No objectives, but 2 kills. No flash on Humanoid now. Next 5 minutes of fighting is going to be really tough for him. 1 minute 40 seconds on the next Dragon.
Heads up play coming in. A lot of resources committed from Astralis there, but getting those 2 kills is big. Downside is there wasn't really a big objective to play for, so more of a gold injection into the team, a bit more time to clear out some of the vision. Fnatic set up on the bottom side, but it's still there, it's still present, so you need to see what else Astralis can get done now that they've further extended the individual gold lead here for Leader.
Topside vision is their focus. 1-3. Ult should be back up soon, and Kobbe's got those 2 items. So not only is the Irelia Sejuani so strong in the mid game, it's also this Lucian Nami. As much as we were skeptical as to whether it would be a good pick, they should be able to dish out a lot of damage, and we're yet to see Oscar kind of get involved in this game. It was a double TP behind Humanoid, recalling there.
Get the flash.
Don't know if Finn was really needed for this, but we'll just see it anyway because his ult was on cooldown. Let's not forget he had to use the flash and ult to escape Advienne. Maybe if he landed that hook, Humanoid could have a few more seconds, but he was dead no matter what. Finn arrives, tosses out the Q, and then helps the team get the kill. Donates it over to Leader, who then pushes bot. Oscar and Rekkles manage to escape around the backside. And let's see what
the Hexgate highlight. Thank you, observers.
Yeah, manages to get away. Let's see what Fnatic can do because it's a tough situation. Ooh. I guess, I mean, they can do that. Yeah, that works.
That's a tech. That's a strategy.
Not
Just
sure.
kidding. That's a pause. We'll find out why shortly. Yeah, Oscarinin now at 2 items. He's got the Rylai's, making it easier to stick onto a target, as well as the Rift Maker.
You can see the Astralis. Look at them, just all fist bumping. Leaders serious talking, having a chat with them. Good vibes.
Client performance issues. Kobbe is the reported issue for the pause, so we'll update you. We've all been there.
Client issues. Okay, interesting. Maybe his game's lagging or something, or something's not opening properly. But yeah, let's take stock. 2,000 gold lead for Astralis. Baron's just about to spawn. Dragon is spawning in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're big. And I think, oh no, that's Wits End. Okay, we'll see what Leader wants to go for here in terms of build.
A lot of cheers in the crowd for both teams.
Yeah, the battle on the Rift has stopped, but the battle in the audience has just begun. It is absolutely unintelligible out there, but I assume it's some combination of Astralis and Fnatic chance.
Finn just trying to reset. I think things like this can really like jar you in a sense. You know, if there's a 5-10 minute pause, you always forget what the plan was. So hopefully if they can keep the mood up and keep laughing, both teams, they can...
113 doesn't know what to do. He's like, why can't I emote in the pause?
Oh, here comes the all chat. I can see it going. 113 is just asking them how they're doing. You know, he's just being a nice guy, checking in on them.
Oh, cool. They're just having a full-on conversation here.
Yeah, they are.
Wow, that's interesting.
No, wow. Did he really just say that?
You know what the best part? That's
what we're going to do. Just wind them up.
What?
Wind them
You're
up
not going to believe what 113 wrote in all chat.
Just clickbait the hell out of it.
No, they're being very wholesome. There's not really
no, they are being really nice.
Just checking in on each other.
If you want to know how nice they're being, he said that Kobbe's PC got so hot because of Humanoid being so hot.
Wow.
So
Humanoid said understandable.
So they're being.
That's the confidence you want to hear from a Fnatic mid laner.
Can you imagine your jungler just
flirting with the enemy? He's your enemy. You have to want to kill him. Like, nah, he cute.
He cute.
Respectable.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough situation for Fnatic. We'll see. Okay. Well, they're writing some wild stuff now.
Okay. Don't read that. Don't read that. Let's just say they're advancing their relationship in the all chat. That's.
They're getting to know each other.
They're getting to know each other.
Yeah, I think maybe PC restart, PC swap, whatever it may be, will happen soon. We'll have an update as soon as possible. But yeah, I think this is just such an Astralis comp. Really heavy mid-game, really heavy engage, play for skirmishes, and they found their windows. Fnatic can scale well, but they need to slow it down a little bit.
And again, one of the great strengths of Astralis is I think that they recognize these windows where they can force fights so well. And because they play champions that a lot of other people don't, in this case the Irelia, it makes it that much harder for the enemy team to recognize some of those windows. Humanoid, of course, thought he had the safe back. Recalls on a ward. Astralis willing to full commit to the play.
I feel like it was pinked as well. I'm not sure if he like showed for a second recalling.
Yep.
And pinked the bush as he was channeling it.
Hello.
Or something like that happened.
League officials are investigating a client performance issue. As they investigate, let's send it over to Sjokz.
Thank you so much. I may or may have not been on a bathroom break when the pause happened. So I was walking back and I saw these two running to the desk, and I actually don't know what happened in the last fight. Can you tell me?
So basically, it's been going well for Astralis. Leaders popping off, 6-2 now on Irelia. Really good TP flank. And things have definitely started to look up for Astralis, I think. The big thing is kind of looking at, as the lads were saying in the desk, finding those windows to fight, using the Malphite ults to actually get into positions where they can, and then just playing for early skirmishes on top side has just worked out wonders for them.
So, but where I left off, I actually saw Fnatic getting back in the driver's seat, actually getting the better hand of the skirmishes.
Yeah, and then you left, and then they didn't. And I think a lot of it also comes down to the fact that you're playing Irelia with Sejuani. Like, this is two things that go hand in hand, and it's so easy to set up leader that way too when they have these skirmishes. You talked about a TP, we saw it come through, and they've just been getting better plays.
I think as well, like, this is actually kind of a good example of one of the things that I've consistently been impressed with Astralis that they've improved both from last year all the way through winter into spring is how they've managed their vision control and how they've worked around objectives. Like that TP word there for leader, that's actually something that we'll see more and more that Astralis have worked on. It wasn't something that they're particularly good at in summer, worked heavily on it in winter. And I think now you're starting to see it pay dividends where they can go for these deep TP flanks with leader to set up plays and set up a lot more of these opportunities for them. I think it's really cool to see how Astralis have started to grow as a team over the course of just even this year alone. It's so nice to see them now obviously sitting second place. It's really good that we're actually getting to see what Astralis is capable of.
Yeah, and if they close this out, they would be playing Vitality on Monday, and then they would be in the playoffs, which is pretty crazy, but we're not there yet. And I think we have to give Fnatic, of course, the respect that they deserve in terms of they're perfectly capable of turning a game back on its head if that were in the cards. Well, the problem, or the question is it on the cards? Because the composition similar than the one we saw in the last game, but definitely here a case of an Irelia that has truly taken off.
Yeah, I think the only way that you're really going to see this come back, I feel like it's going to rest on Humanoid.
Not good.
Yeah, I think it's rest on Humanoid. I think the Orianna, we've seen a couple of big ultimates this game that really pushed the envelope here for Astralis and being able to bring this game back. I think it's going to rely on him again. I think the Varus has some input then in the later portions as well, but I realistically think it's going to be a big shockwave that really does disrupt what is essentially a very short-range dive composition. So if you can find that right moment to pull the trigger, it can make a big difference.
And it's not like it's been a super clean game for Astralis either.
Yeah.
We've seen some overcommitment on some of the skirmishes. We saw it down in the bot side as well. 1-1-3 ultimate goes to Nami, overextended. Rekkles picks up a triple kill, I believe, as well. And that didn't necessarily come off Fnatic, so Razork just left
Twitterverse, read into this.
Yeah.
Razork's the only one still on stage.
Well, I mean, he's still got to keep the conversation rolling in all chat, you know, like someone has to, yeah.
Yeah, apparently something, I mean, can you, maybe something, apparently something was popping off in all chat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but I did see at one point where there was just, we had the replay that popped up of
Yeah.
that like topside skirmish, and in all chat there's just 1-1-3 run, where he's obviously spotted the enemy jungler Razork trying to clear his blue, and it's just like, get the hell out of there.
Yeah. That's cool. I always wonder how
warfare.
much of that actually happens in game. But we'll see indeed. Now, League officials are investigating a client performance issue. As they investigate, let's send it over to Sjokz. Just kidding. That was the copy for Drakos. And it's still up there. Unfortunate, I think definitely for the side of Astralis, who got the ball rolling. And I think also for Fnatic, it is getting on in terms of the evening as well. And I actually don't know what to say about it because it's been so back and forth. If there is anyone who has the ability on Fnatic to turn it around, I think there's many people, and the clutch factor there is immeasurable if you look at the experience of some of the members, and the newer members have done admirably. But is it going to come down to like excellent catch out with a Nautilus hook, for instance?
I think this is where it kind of gets super interesting, because when we look at what Fnatic have done, it's been a, do we get early game wins? Cool, let's see if we can snowball with like late game team fighting and just kind of keep playing for objectives and win out. We even saw it in the last game, whereas these like late game team fights at objectives that were the big difference maker. We haven't really seen Fnatic being able to have these major comebacks. So I think, especially now that we're seeing today in particular, Humanoid stepping up, Razork stepping up, trying to play through the mid-jungle, actually having, honestly, Rekkles, this Varus performance has been absolutely spectacular. It feels like if there's ever a day where that clutch factor, the veterancy can really step up and be accounted for, it is today. But it is a question of, like, can you find that big shockwave that's going to really change the outcome of this game? The Mordekaiser in the top lane has me questioning a lot of things because it feels like it's kind of there. Maybe you can disrupt a big Malphite ultimate or something coming along those lines, and that could be the moment where you can find that chance. But it feels like it's so many different things coming together for Fnatic, whereas it's a lot easier, I want to say, when you already have this massive Irelia on Astralis' side to just continue to play through.
Yeah, because normally this team fight I mean, outside of the Mordekaiser perhaps, but normally the setup is kind of good to have here. The front to back composition you can talk about, but the problem is you need to lock down an Irelia, and when you blow so many things on her comp, it's allowed to scale back into the game as well, which is quite necessary for him. And I think, as you said, it's going to have to come down to one where I actually, not only do they find the best team fight possible, I also think they need to catch Astralis and specifically Leader out of position a little bit, so when they blow everything on him, they're not getting cleaned up by the rest of Astralis potentially either. So I would say Fnatic, they're going to have a bit of a hard time, especially if they keep dropping the ball where they get out macroed a bit by Astralis.
Well, Kobbe reported game performance issues which have been confirmed by league officials. We are currently replacing the PC and we will be entering the ready checks shortly. You saw earlier players were leaving the stage during this pause. This was to allow them to use the restroom during this extended pause. I guess Razork just hasn't drank a lot of water and he didn't have to go, which is good.
Well,
I mean, maybe not, because you need to be hydrated.
I mean, I can kind of get it. I wouldn't particularly, if in a game like this where the stress is there, to like step away from it and kind of take your mind out of it and just be like, hey, look, I'm happy to just sit here and kind of keep my mind on the game rather than separating yourself from that.
I fully get it. It's like we're getting ready for a show and you just like, just ready. You want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Also, you were, I was asking the questions and Rob took the answers and you were just looking at me funnily, GB.
Yeah, honestly.
Are you just bored by the conversation?
I think we reached a point where I was like, man, we love talking about draft,
This
don't
is
we,
the
as
first
well?
time I'm on the desk and GB just wants to step out of it, you know? That's just real nice. Thanks, GB.
He loves to hear himself talk usually, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm just going to
silent
shut up
treatment.
now. That's easy. I
We
won't
do
talk
have a
now.
bird's eye view of the current map state, which would be cool to remind us all of what was going on.
And I think you actually like kind of hit the nail on the head. We were talking a little bit backstage, is that there's still a lot of like standing gold there for Astralis, especially when you're looking at Leader, who's just huge. The 2 items already completed. He can just go to a side lane. We've already seen how good Astralis have been at establishing vision control in the enemy jungle to actually like set up for the split push. The only thing I'd be kind of worried about is that it feels a bit difficult for Astralis to kind of get mid control with Kobbe kind of being on the back foot here. So I feel like if Fnatic maybe can stick Rekkles mid, push in mid and try and keep pressure onto this mid turret, it can be very difficult then for Leader to play for sides, but that also is kind of hard when you're already missing your 2 turrets in mid lane because of that earlier Rift Herald. Actually being able to play aggressive here becomes kind of hard for Fnatic.
You can see it here as well. Fnatic are putting a lot of that vision on the bot side because Drake is spawning in just under a minute as well, but Baron is also spawning in a bit. So while Fnatic's members are all around the area around the bot side to prevent Astralis from walking in, they need to get up towards the top side as well. Their champions really shred Baron, Irelia specifically. So if they leave them unchecked, that could be quite difficult for Fnatic. They might end up in a situation where they're like, oh, we get Drake, but we lost Baron for it. And now all of a sudden, Astralis finally get that mid control that they might be lacking with the Baron minions. Then they can bridge that into side lanes, and all of a sudden, Fnatic would then lose a bit of the control.
There's also just the option for Astralis here to just drop Dragon control completely. They're like, hey, look, you know, Fnatic's already in the area. We have a minion wave that's already prepped on top side. Let's just leg it top, grab the turret, and then it's like, call Fnatic's bluff.
It's GG.
Yeah, it's like, well, what the hell are you going to do? Well, you can go for Dragon, cool, we'll take an inhibitor turret, or as you say, just fall back to Baron and take that one. So I feel like you kind of got a catch-22 here as Fnatic, and I do like that they're setting up here to try and bait the Dragon, but it's a major issue that they lost these 2 towers early. It makes it so hard.
I kind of believe in I see it, you know, the Maokai, Orianna ball.
Yeah.
5 man ult, maybe 3. One of them get Mordekaisered.
I think
possible.
I think like if you nearly want to like bait the ultimate from the Malphite, where it's like as Malphite sends himself in, Mordekaiser just ults him out of existence, and then you're kind of just left with your pants down as the Astralis try to run in. Maybe that's the moment where you can get that big Orianna ult. Maybe that's the moment where the Maokai comes through. But I definitely think you have enough of like ball delivery systems to make things easy. Even the fact you got Rekkles ults there as well.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go play by play. I'm kidding, Drakos. Take it away.
Thank you.
I don't know if they heard the first few seconds of what he just said.
I don't know if they heard that either. Love you, Dagda. Sorry. Thought they were going to fist fight. Was very ready for it. Welcome. Audience, there was just a pause. Their energy will be low. Give them energy, audience. Woo! That's right. We're back in game.
15 seconds on Dragon. Astralis trying to find a way in. I thought they were going to go towards Nash, but Fnatic are holding the line here. They want to make sure they punish them as they walk up. Humanoid trying to get this blue buff. I think he's going to try and Hexgate afterwards, maybe. He was channeling it for a second there. Squire's Bloom will spot them out. Leader.
Got to keep their eye on Leader.
What position can Leader get here?
Leader can just threaten mid if he wants to, but instead he's wrapping for the flank. They have a control ward.
That's
going to be
far
big.
back Rekkles is. He doesn't want to step up whatsoever, does he? He's just going to run as far back as possible when Leader shows on this pink. But do they play for steal? Do they play for fight? Where's Leader?
Leader's not in position. He knows that ward is there.
No flash. How's he going to get on top of the carries?
I don't. But they're kind of fine because now they see him. Leader spotted.
Just hanging out.
Walking in. Oscarinin ready. He's going to take him to the death realm. Ulti's coming in. Can they finish the Drake? But it's now been stolen away. 1 with 3 minutes to grab it. Finn. Ulti. Where's it going to go? Has held onto it for now. Astralis can just disengage. They got the dragon. They don't need to fight for anything else. Just walk away.
And
Oh, they're so happy, and Fnatic is so pissed. They needed to force a fight the second they lost that dragon.
This is a classic, like, you mad? Just took the dragon and... Wait, are they going to go towards Nash here? Fnatic don't have vision. Finn spacing without TP. I don't think they are. Maybe they're faking it. Astralis do this quite often, actually. They fake some kind of Baron. They take your vision away and threaten it. So now watch Fnatic. They're all going to be sprinting out of base, but Kobbe will show on midwave. And Fnatic will know that they're not on this. So Astralis couldn't really find an angle. Their leader didn't have the best position because he was spotted when he was on that control ward. He probably said, yeah, back away. Because if he goes in, he's as good as dead in a 1v5. Despite Finn going in, they can single him out off to the side quite easily. So yeah, going to build towards that wit's end. You expect us 3, and then I think leader can start to dive in.
Yep. A little less than 2k gold away from that item. We spent a startling amount of the pause trying to figure out how much gold
we were
was
doing
left.
math.
It was not good. We're not good at basic math. It's been a long time.
He's about 600 or 700 gold off right now, so he needs a few more waves.
There you go.
But yeah, second dragon gets picked up for Astralis, still quite a way away from any kind of soul. They should control these side lanes. Look at Finn. You know, he's down 50 CS. He's not catching any waves. He's just vibing with the team, ready to fight in case anyone kicks off. He knows his carries are mid and AD, and he's not really needing any more resources once he gets that second item.
And that is going to be one of the struggles for Fnatic, is they have 3 champions who very much want to farm, so a bit easier for Astralis to distribute their resources. So they can just funnel into Kobbe now that Finn is essentially no longer taking farm, as you highlighted. Oscarinin walking down.
Razork.
Ulti now going to come out. Is Finn just going to ult away from this one? It looks like he's just going to tank it.
Play off the hook.
Engage, big damage on the Razork. Tidal wave now falling up. Finn looking to turn and burn it. Here comes leader. Here comes the Irelia. Looking to dash, dip, duck, dive, but he's been brought into the death realm for now. He can have to focus on fighting Oscarinin. A clean ult coming in for Oscar. Means leader cannot find the angle to reset in the fight. He's been pulled back. He has been shut down. The death realm may not have finished him, but Rekkles sure did.
Huge kills for Fnatic. Can they get a Baron? Oscar has TP. Smite's ready for Razork. It's a 3 versus 5. Should be an easy pickup. Does Astralis contest this? A couple of low health bars, but I think they're healthy enough to pick this up here. Fnatic 113 has the Smite. Can he get vision on the objective? JeongHoon. Can anyone stop 113? Can anyone jump over this wall? Oscar has flash. If he wants a flash, hit the blast cone. That would be crazy.
Humanoid going to be in trouble. Kobbe poking. Advienne making it out of the pit. 4K, TP now coming in. 113 is so incredibly low. Is he still going to try to go for the steal?
There's no way he can get this right. He's so low HP. There's just no way.
It's getting lower and lower.
He can get this Baron.
They found vision in the fence. They're all still waiting over the wall. They're waiting. Oh, he takes it! He takes it! Oh, Fnatic flipped the coin and it came up tails. 113 again. A thief in the night will walk away with the Baron buff in his back pocket.
4 members have that buff. He got out. JeongHoon got out. Kobbe's fine. And only Finn died. So much value from that TP. He was the human ward that he needed there. 113, so low on health. I thought Oscar would flash out the pit to fight him, to make him Q away, flash away, maybe even kill him. He was only around 5 to 10% health, but no, they all stay in the pit. They focus Finn down, and then 113 focuses down the Baron. That's got a sting for Fnatic. The game's been tough. They finally get a winning team fight, but it turns on its head, and now Astralis are the ones with this Baron. Let's see what they can get done. Side lane tier 2s are up.
And sometimes you outplay your enemy. As the case of Fnatic in the mid lane, they absolutely did outplay, saving the death realm, isolating leader, making sure that they could win the fight. But if you outplay the fight and you take the flip at the Baron, sometimes it's going to come up tails. And Astralis, and especially 113, 2 objectives in a row being stolen away. Massive, massive for the side of Astralis as we get later into this game.
Yeah, 7 kills on Rekkles. Not sure if we'll get a replay of the fight, but Astralis will now set up the waves. Bot tier 2 will be their focus. Kobbe will push in mid and move towards leader. Try and help him out in getting this tower. Razork's going to take a base here. And expect the next fight to be soon if Fnatic want to stop this siege. I mean, Astralis' siege isn't the best unless they commit to a full dive. They only really have 2 range champs, so it's kind of hard for them to hit towers without getting hooked by Nautilus. So you can see they're a bit hesitant to walk up to hit this tower. I think they're just playing for the next Drake, seeing where Fnatic are on the map. Finn's on mid-wave with no TP, so they can't really do much here. Need to be careful even of Razork and Advienne on the engage.
And it's good that you highlighted it, because I think it's so hard for Astralis to turn their leads into towers. They can get more advantage in a fight, certainly, but as you highlighted, limited ranged options, and certainly when there's an Orianna on the enemy team as well, who can essentially instantly delete a what?
His pet's got him with the E.
I mean, that's a start. God. That's a bit of revenge here as the Coaling is coming out onto Advienne. Ooh, losing 80% of his health bar.
Yeah. Well, Razork will be happy with that pickup. Anyway,
that was a mental win, really, more than anything.
Yeah, Razork's in their heads now, you have to imagine. 113 and leader don't get that blue, but they'll get the dragon, and they'll put him on soul points. Hextech's probably the most powerful soul in the game overall. And so we are going to get a replay of this Baron. So how does 113 get it? I thought here Oscar could flash, hit the blast cone, maybe even try to kill 113. gets healed up. Finn goes in and flashes onto Razork. Almost kills him. Razork runs out 600. Oh, did Razork smite Finn? Or someone else? What happened to his smite there? I'd have to watch it again.
But wait a minute. Mordalt wasn't available. Okay, I was like, you can just Mordalt. No, Mordalt was not available.
Right, so I wonder if Razork, if he wasn't in Mordekaiser there, maybe smited someone instead of the Baron, because that was like 600, and I'm pretty sure I saw a smite animation, but then in came 113 and picked it up. Nevertheless, they didn't really get anything out of the Baron. No towers have been picked up from the Baron. They've just secured themselves map control and secured themselves soul points.
And soul point. And I think soul point is the big one, because it's an avenue that essentially forces Fnatic to fight you.
So I just got confirmation that Razork actually smited Finn instead there at 600 HP. And 113 managed to get the Baron right under his nose, so that's really unlucky for Razork. That could have been game-changing. Would have had a massive 5-man Nash buff, maybe even 4. A couple members could have died perhaps, but then you'd siege on mid. And with Orianna Varus, you could force them off towers, but I think Astralis are now going to slow it down, wait for the next Nash, get a couple more items on Kobbe.
No. Double control ward there, setup not ideal, but Astralis definitely eyes on the right side of the map for themselves. 2 minutes till the Baron. Getting that soul is very crucial. Trying to set up a bit of bot side control so Leader can continue to push forward. 3.5 items, QSS. Big for Leader in the fights to come. No longer is the Death Realm a reliable option to take him out of the equation.
They've been sieging this bot tier 2 for a good few minutes now, Astralis, but they can't do any damage to it. They don't have any Baron buff either, so yeah, this is just going to be impossible. You can see the Astralis items. Where are the tanks? Where are the carries? Look at how many items they have. 2 items for the tanks, and the rest of the carries get everything basically. 285 CS now for Leader, 272 for Kobbe.
Both of them at 3 items, and then an additional QSS, so massive for the fights to come. QSS as well, on top of the cleanse, so you can not only cleanse a Varus ult, but you can QSS away the Mord ultimate as well.
Yeah. So the game will slow down.
Ooh, and Mikhails. They are stacking ways to get rid of this hard CC.
Yeah, the Maokai W, the Nautilus auto attack, the Varus ult makes sense, and I think Astralis will be very happy if the Mordekaiser ults someone like 113, because I think probably Oscarinin's probably tankier than him. So now topside vision is all that matters. Finn's been dropping waves all game. He's probably going to get Flame Horizon, but I don't think he cares. He's just here to make sure that they can engage or not get engaged on. 113, maybe looking for Razork.
Fishing for Razork. Clean W out to safety. Kobbe getting a lot of poke. Humanoid now continuing to chase here. Procced phase rush, but has to be careful about walking too far forward. Bit of healing coming out.
That was the shockwave as well. That was basically all of Humanoid's burst. He only got into about half, and then 113 started tanking the rest of it, so he really needs to land that on the carries. Will be a pretty low cooldown, looking at his items.
Yeah.
Astralis looking to force top tier 2 now. I don't think they can siege anything. It's so hard. They need to wait for Fnatic to walk into the river, and they'll only do that when the neutral spawns.
38 seconds on this Baron. Very quick take for the side of Astralis between the Sejuani, the Irelia, and the Lucian.
And if you're a Fnatic fan, just eyes on Rekkles. Don't know how many times you've heard that throughout the last 8 or 9 years, but he's 3 items strong, has a stopwatch, has his sums up, needs to get towards that level 14, and then we'll see what he can do in these fights. He's going to have a lot of members diving on top of him. He's going to have to watch out for Malphite ult, Irelia Flash R, the Nami tidal wave, the culling. He needs some peel. I think Razork needs to be there and ready to stop a Leader in his tracks. Oscar needs to be ready to stop 113 in his tracks.
And right as the Baron spawns, the control ward already down. Astralis now fighting for mid-prio, looking to get control of that Baron pit, but Fnatic waiting in the darkness, ready. Spotted on a ward, however. Limits their ability to really get anything kicked off here in the mid lane.
A little bit of poke coming out, trying to contest this wave. Finn's still here, Leader's on bot wave. Varus ult.
Dash forward from Kobbe. Finn locked up. Ult's now coming out, but they haven't managed to get onto the backline. There's a TP behind them, though, and that could be big. They need to death realm Leader, but it will not work. He's got the QSS, and instantly he's on top of Rekkles. They buy a bit more time, but it's not enough. Leader's just not taking any damage. All that MR, the wits end, the healing. They cannot finish the job. Oscarinin will find 1 kill, but can he turn against 3 strong? Leader looking for the montage. Humanoid flashing out to safety. He will make it out with his life, but they will not be able to contest this Baron. Oscarinin still running. Kobbe still on the chase, getting the movement speed from JeongHoon. Astralis taking the fight.
I think they can 2-man Nash here. Maybe they're going to push through mid. Finn, where's he going to TP? He's actually going to TP to help them out to make sure it's a 3-man secure. 113 is dead. Humanoid versus Leader on the cover. Maybe Leader can get this mid tower. He does. Looking for the inhibitor as well, so Astralis getting a lot of objective off of this. Massive fight from Leader TPing in across the side. Rekkles flashes away, but by the time he flashes, he has to stopwatch. And then all he can do is just stand there and hit. He has no peel whatsoever. There's just an Irelia standing on top of him. Nowhere to go. 4 kills to Astralis. A Baron. Dragon's up in 15 seconds, though. Let's see if Fnatic can get there in time. Oscar has the TP the second he spawns. You can see on the minimap here, I don't think we can go into a replay because Fnatic need to get here quickly. As much as they might have lost his Baron, this is game deciding here if they can contest this Soul. All of Fnatic trying to get some setup. Leader's going to base, but he has no TP. I don't think he has time to base if they want to fight this. Kobbe's in base. And it looks like maybe Astralis just going to keep this up. So Fnatic buy themselves some time, but they're up against another Baron.
And they get the bounty. It's going to be big to shift the gold a little bit closer. These fights are going to be tricky. Leader has a ton of MR already. Silvermere, Dawn, Merc Treads, as well as the Wit's End. And you can see in this fight here, no longer is he an option to be Death Realmed out. So when he comes in on the flank, Fnatic have very few options.
Yeah, so let's watch Leader here on the side. Fnatic grouped up. Leader R flashes. Rekkles flashes the Malphite ult and the Irelia ult. What more can he want? Razork's peeling, stopwatch, and now all he can do is just stand there and hit, and he tries his best to hit, but he can't get through them in time. So much resistances, so much damage, and then 113 dies to Oscarinin on the left side there in the Death Realm. Leader doing his best to try and get Humanoid.
100 on every Q auto.
It's weaving in Qs through the wave every single time. Humanoid had to flash away. Now no flashes on the Orianna and the Varus. This next Malphite ult is going to be deadly.
Yeah, and this is a tough position. Without an exhaust, I mean, you need an exhaust on the Irelia, and you need healing reduction on the Irelia if you want to kill her in these fights. Or Rekkles needs 3 uninterrupted seconds to hit, but now the engage coming out. Oscarinin has been focused. No Death Realm coming out quite yet. Buying himself a bit more space. Leader in the midst of everybody. Leader still trying to make it work. Oscarinin taking it into the Death Realm. Leader taking them all to the Death Realm. 2 kills coming in already. Leader now leaving it on the Humanoid, trying desperately to heal. They managed finally to take down the Irelia, but now the rest of Astralis stand strong. A big shutdown coming in for Fnatic, but this might just be the end of the road.
Yeah, it will. Humanoid can't wave clear here. He doesn't have ultimate. It's a 2 versus 4. Astralis might need to dive them to end, though. Humanoid's poking out 113. Razork looking to engage. Finn just hitting the towers, though.
Flash forward, looking to isolate and focus down Humanoid. He goes golden, but there's a big rock waiting for him. Astralis taking the fight on the top side. Razork getting one back in return, but is Astralis all the way as they take down Fnatic 2-1 to move up against Vitality tomorrow, Sunday, Monday.
Soon.
Great
Monday. Game from Astralis. 29 kills in 33 minutes. And looked a little bit dicey at parts of the game, but I mean, their team fights were so strong when it came to the dive. I mean, Leaders Irelia, it's just always a bit of a pleasure to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just constantly finding the right angles to go in. Finn sacrificing everything for his team. And 113, very volatile player, I have to say. Looks for the most crazy plays, but it seems to be working. And Astralis are on fire.
Absolutely are. Credit to Astralis again, finding the win there. As strong as Rekkles was, you know, they opted into a draft where they had a lot of great tools to start the fight, but not a lot of great tools to stop it. Didn't have the Tompkins this time around, and while that helped a lot in their early to mid game and those late game fights, really needed a more reliable way to get Irelia off of that backline, and they just could not find it.
Not enough peel, really, is it? I mean, that's the power of just having so much dive into the mobile AD carry. There's not much Rekkles can do, is there? He can flash a Malphite ult and an Irelia ult, and they're still on top of him, and he still can't move. So, yeah. Well executed by Astralis. Need to land those spells on top of him in the first place, but yeah, Leader's mechanics were good. And I think JeongHoon for me has been a bit of like I mean, that bubble on the Mordekaiser ult, for example, the Leona gameplay, the last fight in game 1 where he doubled both the carries. JeongHoon has just been such a standout for me on this Astralis lineup. It's really hard as a support to shine at times, I think.
Yeah.
But to me, JeongHoon is one of the best in the league.
And he is shining. But he's not on this player of the game pool. At LEC on Twitter, 113, Leader or Kobbe are your options. You know, I don't know who you should pick.
Is he player of the series or player of the series?
Player of the series.
I think all of them could deserve it. I'm going to vote for JeongHoon on my own. I just decided. The JeongHoon stan. No, 113 had really good setups. Kobbe.
I mean, game 1 and 3 were good for most of these, but they were winning.
Yeah, game 2 was a bit of a happy little accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, but who was it the happiest accident for?
You just like finish draft and you're like, wait. I have an Ilawi and a Zed? What happened? I think the draft was a bit all over the place.
Yeah. We are gearing up and moments away from an interview with Finn and Frankie, which I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Standing on the top side of the bracket now, up against Vitality to see who will be the first team to make it out of this group. It's an excellent position, and Astralis continuing to remind us how good they are. Their regular season 1, 6-3. Pretty impressive, finishing just behind BDS, but taking down a Fnatic now, and a Fnatic who I think fought back maybe more than some people outside of Fnatic fans would have expected. But living the high life here on the upper side of the bracket. Still have the luxury of losing a best of 3.
Yeah.
Well,
ready for the interview?
We're ready for the interview. Frankie, Finn,
much, guys.
take it away.
I will do. I'll do it my best shot. Finn, I've been practicing saying this champion's name since you picked Alawi. Allow me to ask you a question about Alawi then. We haven't seen you play it for a few years on the LEC stage.
That was really smooth, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I've been practicing it. So tell me what the thinking was with this pick.
Oh, well, so they blind beat Olaf, which is a bit unconventional, and then they banned my Kled. So I was looking at the draft as a whole, and I was like, okay, they have very heavy dive comp, and everyone in their team basically wants to win, excluding Varus. And I know that no matter what they pick on 5, they can't really change the identity of the comp. So I was like, okay, Alawi is a fine matchup into Olaf, and it makes a lot of sense during the game, and I think it was a good pick. Now, what my team did when I played Alawi, I will not comment on that, but...
Did it go better in solo queue?
Not really, but I think the pick makes a lot of sense, and I think it was a really good pick.
Yeah, it's interesting because Nightshare was like, oh, they picked the Alawi into 2 bruisers rather than tanks. So I wondered what you thought he meant by that.
Well, people usually pick Alawi into tanks because she will rush Black Cleaver and then just like abuse them on her tower over and over and over again. But nowadays, Alawi with the Iceborne Gauntlet rush, she does pretty well into bruisers as well. Alawi definitely is more about the enemy composition more than the individual matchup, because Alawi fundamentally just like is really good when enemy is all diving and she can just like hold the line. It's like the bouncer. She's like, you're not passing here, and she'll just like murder everyone if they're diving. So, and we had a pretty good poke comp that game, and I'm happy I picked it. Not happy we lost, but I think it was a good game for it.
She's a Gandalf.
Yeah.
You shall not pass her. It's fine. Don't worry, kids. There was this film called Lord of the Rings. It came out about 2002. Most of you weren't born. It's fine. We'll work on it. Now, tell me then about, well, I guess going back to that game, why it didn't quite work.
Oh, well, we had a lot of unfortunate things happening in the early game. We died with Maokai level 1, and then we got dove mid, and then we had a really bad bot fight, and then we had a really bad herald fight. And I think at one point, our coach said we were like 12k down. And then we were like, okay, enemies are gonna sweat for this game. So we were like, okay, hold the line here, make them use all bit of mental energy they have to try to finish this game out cleanly. And I think we did a really good job, honestly, holding the line, considering we were 12k down. And it was a really hard game. It still took a long time for them to end it, but yeah, I think mentally we were all really in a good state during the whole game, just chilling.
Is that something you've been working on, just keeping things in focus even when things are going wrong?
I just think just like no matter what you do, even if you're gonna lose the game, make sure the enemies are like feeling a little bit pressured when they're doing it, because even though they have an easy game to close out, if they feel like they're not doing it perfectly, maybe they'll start second thinking things. And I think when I saw how they were snowballing in game 2, I felt really comfortable just blind picking Malphite in game 3, because I knew that they wouldn't really punish us super well.
Well, it was fantastic to see you guys succeeding yet again on the LEC stage. I'm getting rather used to it by now. So thank you so much for talking to me today. Right now, though, we are going to head over to PGL because Sjokz has snagged herself a mid laner called Leader.
Wow.